There were once two brothers. Anpu was the older, Bata was the younger. Anpu had a wife and owned a farm. Bata worked hard for his brother, plowing the fields and harvesting the grains, and doing many other tasks. He was very good at his work. The animals would even speak to him. One day, Anpo announced that it was time to plow the fields and sow the seeds, and he instructed his brother to take the sacks of seed out to the fields. They spent the next few days plowing and sowing the seeds. Then, Anpo sent Bata back for more seeds.
At Anpu's house, Bata found Anpu's wife fixing her hair.
Get up and get me some seeds. Anpo is waiting.
Get the seeds by yourself. I'm busy with my hair.
Bata found a large basket and filled it with seed, and he carried the basket through the house.
What is the weight of that basket you carry?
There are 3 sacks of wheat and 2 of barley.
How strong you are and handsome. Stay with me and let us make love, and Anpo will never know.
Anpo is like a father to me, and you are like a mother to me. I won't tell anyone the evil words that you have said, and do not let me hear them again.
He picked up his basket and rushed out into the fields. When Anpu got back home, he realized that something was wrong. No fire had been lit, no food had been cooked, and his wife was in bed, moaning and weeping. Her wife's clothes were torn, and she seemed to be bruised. Anpu demanded that she tell him what had happened.
Oh, honey, what has happened?
When your brother came to fetch the seed, he saw me fixing my hair. He tried to make love to me, and I refused, saying, "Is not Anpo like a father to you? And am I not like a mother to you?" And he became angry and beat me. He said that he would hurt me more if I told you what had happened. Oh, Anpo, kill him for me, or I will surely die.
Anpu was angry like a leopard. He took a spear and hid behind the door of the cattle pen, waiting to kill his brother.
When the sun had gone down, Bata returned with the cattle. The first cow said to Bata, "Your brother hides with a spear, Mo, behind the door, Mo, and he plans to kill you. Run away while you can, Mo." I don't believe in you. Bata would not believe the cow, but the second cow gave him the same warning.
Anpu chased him in great anger. As he ran, Bata called out to Ra.
Oh my good Lord, who judges between the good and the bad, please help me.
And Ra heard Bata's prayer and caused a river to flow between them. The river was wide and full of crocodiles. The two brothers stood on opposite banks of the river. Bata shouted to Anpu,
Ra delivers the weak to the just, but I must leave you. Why did you try to kill me without giving me a chance to explain?
and Bata told his side of the story. Then Bata took out his knife and cut himself. And he felt, and Anpuk believed him, and was sick at heart, and he longed to be on the other side of the river with his brother.
Cedars to be healed, and I shall hide my heart in a cedar tree. And when the cedar tree is to be cut down, I will be in danger of dying. If your beard turns sour, you will know that I need your help. Come to the valley of cedars and search for my heart. Put my heart in a bowl of water, and I will come back to life again.
To obey his brother, and went home. He killed his wife. Bata traveled to the valley of cedars and rested until his wound had healed. He hunted wild beasts and built a house for himself. He hid his heart in the branches of a tree. One day, the 9 gods were walking in the valley, and they saw that Bata was lonely. Ra ordered Nom to make a wife for Bata on his potter's wheel, and when the gods breathed life into her, they saw that she was the most beautiful woman who ever lived. The 7 others gathered to declare her late and said that she would die a sudden death. And he knew that whoever saw her would decide her. Every day, as he left to hunt wild animals, he warned her.
Stay in the house, or the sea may try to carry you away. And there is little I could do to save you.
One day, when Bata had gone out to hunt, his wife grew bored and went out for a walk. And as she stood beneath the tree, the sea saw her and surged up the valley to get her. She tried to flee, but the tree caught her by the hair. She escaped, leaving a lock of hair in the tree. The sea took the lock of hair and carried it to Egypt, where the Nile looked to it, and the hair floated to the washermen of the king were washing the king's clothes. And the sweet-smelling hair caused the king's clothes to smell like perfume. And the king complained of this. This happened every day. The ear of the washerman saw the lock of hair caught in the reeds. And the sweet-smelling hair caused the king's clothes to smell like perfume. And the king complained of this. This happened every day. He ordered that the hair be brought to him, and he smelled its sweet smell. The lock of hair to the king, and the king's advisor said,
This is the lock of hair from the daughter of Ra.
The king sent many soldiers to fetch Bata's wife, and with the soldiers he sent a woman to give jewels to Bata's wife, and to tell her that the king wanted to make her a queen. Bata's wife told this woman that Bata's heart was hidden in a tree, and that if the tree were cut down, Bata would die.
And the soldiers cut down the tree.
As the tree fell, Bata fell down dead, and the soldiers chopped up the tree and dispersed the pieces. At the same moment that Bata died, Anpu's beard began to bubble and turn sore, and he immediately put on his sandals and grabbed his spear and his staff and hastened to the valley of Cedar. There he found his brother dead, and he wept, but he remembered his brother's instruction and searched for his heart. He searched in vain for 3 years, and he longed to return to Egypt.
If I don't find my brother's heart tomorrow, I will go back home. If I don't find my brother's heart tomorrow, I will go back home.
The next day, he searched again, and near the end of the day, he found what he thought was a seed, but it was Bata's dried up heart. And he put it in a bowl of water and sat down to wait. The heart grew as it absorbed water. Bata came back to life but was very weak. Then Anpu held the bowl to Bata's lips, and he swallowed the remaining water, and then swallowed his own heart. And his strength returned to him, and the two brothers embraced.
Tomorrow I will change myself into a sacred bull, and you will ride me back to the Egypt. Lead me before the king, and he will reward you. Then return to your house.
The next day, Bata changed into a bull, and Anpu rode him to Egypt and led him before the king. The king rewarded Anpu with gold and silver and land and slaves, and there was rejoicing throughout the land, and Anpu returned to his house. Eventually, Bata encountered his wife, who was now the queen, and he said,
Look upon me, for I am alive.
And who are you?
I am Baka, and you are the one who caused the tree to be cut down, so that I would be destroyed. But I am alive.
That evening, the king sat at a feast with his queen, and she said to him,
Will you swear by the gods that you will give me anything that I want?
Yes, I promise.
Then I desire to eat that liver of the sacred bull, for he is nothing to me.
The king was upset at her request, but the next day he commanded that the bull be sacrificed, and that the bull was sacrificed, and its blood spattered on each side of the gate of the palace. One day, the king and queen were standing in the shade of one of the trees, and the tree spoke to the queen.
Fools, woman! You are the one who caused the cedar tree to be cut down, and you made the king slaughter the bull. But I am Bata, I am alive.
And the queen was afraid. king and queen were 15, the queen said,
Will you swear by the gods that you will give me anything that I want?
Yes, I promise, my queen.
Then I desire that those two precious trees will be chopped down to make furniture for me.
The king was troubled by her request, but the next day, the king and queen watched as the tree were cut down. As the queen stood watching, a chip of wood flew from one of the trees and flew it into her mouth, and she swallowed it, and it made the queen become pregnant.
It made the queen to become pregnant.
After many days, the queen gave birth to a son. The king loved him and made him their throne. In time, the king died, and he joined the gods, and his son succeeded him as a king. The new king was Bata Somanikort, and told everyone the story of his life. Anija, that his wife, who had become his mother, she died for her crimes, and the court agreed, and she was led away to be killed. Bata ruled Egypt for 30 years. Then he died. Anpu, his brother, then ruled the Egypt.